Hi, fourth graders, this is Mrs. Gillette again. We're on Module 4, Lesson 10, and today we're going to be finding the unknown angle measure without a protractor. So we're going to use what we are given and find unknown angle measures. You will need this information to start with, a little bit of review. Let's take a look at the top line. I'm going to draw an arc here. How many degrees are in this straight line? Well, you heard me say straight. This is a straight angle, so it's 180 degrees. That is going to be one of our benchmarks today. When we see straight angles, we're going to be knowing and remembering that that is 180 degrees. Okay, so now if I draw a square corner right here, you know that that is a right angle, and all right angles measure 90 degrees. So today when we're working, if we see a right angle, we see the right angle corner, we're going to know that that's 90 degrees. So very important, please remember, straight angle 180, right angle 90 degrees. All right, you will need your problem set, put your name on it, and we're going to work through these together. This is number 1. And number 1 gives us this hint. Angle CBA is a right angle. So I want you to take your finger and put it on point C, trace to B, and up to A. That is angle CBA, and it is a right angle. So take your pencil and let's make a right square corner like that. Keep the 45 and the X inside your square corner. So that whole thing is a right angle. Well, I know right angles equal 90 degrees. And look, the whole thing's going to equal 90 degrees. So I can kind of think of this as 90 degrees broken into two parts. One part is the 45 degrees and one part is X degrees. Well, how am I going to find my unknown? Well, hopefully you'll say, well, I can take my total and subtract the part and see that my unknown is 45 degrees. Don't forget the degree symbol. So X equals 45 degrees. All right, let's look at number 2. Remember, pause if you're not caught up. Number 2 gives us the hint that GFE is a right angle. So again, I'm going to put my pencil on, or my finger on G, trace to F, and up to E. That whole thing is a right angle. Please put your right angle box in there around the X and the 20. Well, if the whole thing is 90 degrees, or a right angle, I can draw my number bond. 90 degrees is the same as X and 20 degrees. 20 is one part, X degrees is another part. So let's write that as a number sentence. 20 plus X equals 90. Well, to find that out, I can take my total, subtract my part. I can see that X equals 70 degrees. And I can check. 20 plus 70 equals 90. Yep, check. So I used, for number 2 and number 1, I used the benchmark of 90 degrees to find the unknown part of a right angle. Let's look at the next one. This is number 3. Number 3, they give us the helpful hint that IJK is a straight angle. So I'm going to put my finger on I, I'm going to trace over to J and over to K. That is a straight angle. So I want you to take and draw an arc for a straight angle, just like I did, over the X and over the 70. So I know I have a 180 degree angle. So I'm going to put that at the top of my number bond. The whole thing is 180. I can see that part of it is 70 degrees and part of it is X degrees. I don't know that part. So 180 minus 70 will give me my unknown. 110. 110 plus 70 would be 180. So x is 110 degrees. I use the benchmark angle of 180 to find the unknown. Okay, pause if you need to catch up, but let's move on to the next one. This is number 4. Number 4 gives us the hint that angle MNO is a straight angle. So I'm going to put my finger on M and trace over to O. That is a straight angle. I know straight angles get that kind of an arc, and I know that straight angles are 180 degrees. Okay? 180 degrees. And I know part of this is 83, and part of this is x. So 180 minus 83 will give me x. I'm going to subtract. You don't have to watch me subtract. You can pause and do the subtraction on your own. And I can see that my other part is 97. So part is 83 and part is 97. So 83 plus 97 equals my 180. What's my missing part? 97 degrees. Okay, let's look at number 5. Number 5 gets us a little bit more intricate in our model. Okay? So, number 5 asked us to solve for TRU. So I'm going to highlight that in orange. I'm going to put my finger on T, trace to R. Well, come back. I'm going to put my finger on T, trace to R, up to U. So we want to know what is X. That's what we want to know. What other information does the paper give us? And it says that QRS is a straight angle. So I'm going to trace that in yellow. QRS is a straight angle. So this whole thing is a straight angle. Put your arc just like I did. Include the square corner, include the X, and include the 36. Okay, so the whole thing is a straight angle. And you know when you hear straight angle, you automatically go to 180 degrees. Okay? Now, let's look at this. Let's start on the left. What do we know about this angle? Oh, it's got a square corner. Automatically, square corners are 90 degrees. That is one part. What do we know about this part right here? Oh, that's an X. I don't know that. And finally, what do I know here? That's 36. I can see that this 180 degree angle is made of 3 parts. 90, X, and 36. Well, how am I going to find out X? I think, if you remember right, if we add 90 plus 36, I get 126. And then I take 180 and I subtract that total, 126, I will get the unknown. Okay, pause and subtract. Hopefully you got 54 degrees. Angle QRS equals 54 degrees. Now, I'm a really smart mathematician and I know how to subtract, but I better check my work. So 126, nope, not 126. 54, 36, and 90 should all give me 180. So I'm going to put that over here. 54, 36, and 90. That should add up to 180. 4 plus 6 is 10. 10, 11, 12, 13. 180. Check. Okay, let's look at number 6. Let's see, what information does number 6 tell us? Well, number 6 tells us to solve for ZYV. Okay, so I'm going to mark that in yellow. Trace it with your finger. ZYV. And it also tells us that XYZ is a straight angle. XYZ is a straight angle. Straight angle means 180 degrees. So I'm going to put my arc over all of that. Include the X, the 108, and the 60. 180 degrees, straight angle. So 180 degrees, that's the first part of my number bond. Now let's take a look. Part of this angle is 60 degrees. Part of this angle is 108 degrees. And part of it is X. And what did I just do in number 5? I added my 2 parts that I know together. Pause and add that. And then I took those 2 parts and I subtracted from 180. Go ahead and subtract. And I get 12. So in this case, X equals 12. So one part of my angle is 12, 108, and 60. Those are my 3 parts. Okay, before I go any further, I'm going to write angle X, Y, Z equals 12 degrees. I need to write that because that's what they're asking me for. Solve for the measurement. Nope, I did that wrong, friends. Angle ZYV is what we need to know. We need to know that angle, and that equals 12 degrees. And then I'm a great mathematician, but I'm still going to check my work. So 108, 60, and 12 should equal 180. Add it up for me. I got 180. Check. Okay, 2 more. Number 7. In the following figure, ACDE is a rectangle. Without using a protractor, determine the measurement of DEB. Write an equation that could be used to solve the problem. All right, so let's talk about this. ACDE is a rectangle. And what do I know about rectangles? Well, I know that rectangles have what kind of corners? They have square corners. Notice how I marked up the corner at vertex E. Okay, so I know they have square corners. I'm going to erase mine before it gets too messy. What I want you to leave is this square corner. Okay, and they're asking us to find the measurement of DEB. So I would like you to put a little X right there. Okay. Well, hopefully now that you've marked it up, you can see that you have marked DEA as a 90-degree angle, and that 90-degree angle is broken into 2 parts, 27 degrees and X degrees. Okay, to find the unknown, I'm going to take my total, 90, and subtract 27. Pause and do that. You should get X equals 63 degrees. So angle DEB, just a minute, 63 degrees. Okay, you might have just heard my niece Harper. She's here in the classroom with me after school today. So angle DEB is 63 degrees. And like all wonderful mathematicians, they check their work. So 63 plus 27 should equal my total of 90. 63 plus 27, 10, 90. Nice, it checks. Great. Okay, number 8, the last one. And this is going to kind of help us review some of the work we've done in a lot of the lessons before now. So we're going to do each of these steps, A, B, C, D, E, F. A, draw 2 points, M and N, and use a straight edge to draw line MN. If I zoom in, I can see that it wants a line MN. So I'm not going to use a straight edge. I want you to just do your best. So let's do M, N, And line MM, it is going to have arrows. Line MN. A is done. I'm going to cross off A. Done. All right, letter B. Plot a point O somewhere between M and N. Between them. So I'm going to put it right there. And I'm going to label it O. You do the same. Cross off B. We did that. Letter C. Plot point P not on MN. I'm going to put it up here. P. Okay, I did that. I'm going to cross it off. Draw, look at this, line segment OP. Line segment has 2 endpoints, so I'm not going to have arrows, and I'm going to stop at my endpoints. I did that. I'm going to cross it off. You hear Harper washing her hands, if that's what you hear in the background. All right, now it tells me to find the measure of MOP. I'm going to draw this, MOP, and the measure of NOP. Let's do one at a time. Okay, what do we know? Well, I can see that I drew a straight angle. Okay, so since I drew a straight angle, I know I'm going to have to subtract from 180. All right, so I'm not going to do this, get out a protractor. I don't have a protractor here. Let's see, can I get one? I have one. So you can't see me do this, but I'm going to put my protractor on the vertex, on the O. I'm going to put the center of it on the O, and I'm going to measure this angle. And I can see that if I start at my 0 and I count up, that angle MOP, oops, now I can't get my protractor off my iPad. There we go. All right, angle MOP equals, now I forgot what it was, 115 degrees. I did use my protractor for that. Okay, well, if angle MOP equals 115 degrees with my protractor, what is angle NOP? Well, I can use my protractor and I can find the measurement, and I can see that it's going to be, and oops, let's use a pen. I can see that NOP will equal 65 degrees. And I know that together, those are both a straight angle. So is 115 plus 65, 180. Add those up. They are. Okay, so 65 degrees. So I did need my protractor for my last one. I did letter E. Now, let's look at letter F. Write an equation to show that the angles add to measure, to a straight angle. I already did that. That's my equation to show that they measure to 180. Done. I did it. Didn't even know I did it. Okay, so now you're going to move on to whatever the teacher has asked you to do next. Thanks for hanging out with me.